Okay, so during my last review of all three Jeeps, I did cover my wife's 2007 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. What I failed to mention was that we still are on our factory 410 gears, front and rear. We may eventually step up to a 513 gear. With the 3.8 liter, it really struggles to get around town. This is all factory 3.8, nothing special, no air intake. Performance plugs, headers, it's all factory exhaust. So we're honestly pushing about 308 horsepower to the wheels with 37-inch tires. This thing's unfortunately kind of a dog going around town, and it averages about 10 miles to the gallon city. Just really according to who's driving. I've gotten at best 12 around city, but even on the interstate, we still fight to get 16 miles to the gallon, and that's an exceptionally light throttle. If you're looking to buy a Jeep and you're trying to get a feel for what year range you want, the 07s to 2011s came with the 3.8 liter V6, and they are an iron block, iron cylinder heads. They are heavy, more of a boat anchor engine. I mean, they're a little rough. Power wise, performance and fuel efficiency is really down compared to the 3.6 liter Pentastars. These engines also have only a single cam. Now, if you're looking for, maintenance, reliability, preventative maintenance in the future, or, cheap costs repairing these engines, it financially, they are cheaper on the wallet, due to, just the simplicity of them. A 3.6 liter will have your power, it'll have your fuel economy, it'll have the sound quality. And the 3.6 in the 2012s, all the way up to the brand new Jeep JL Rubicons and 2018, 2019 year models, that they're all same engine design, giving different compression ratios, and the variable valve systems on them have slightly changed, but they're aluminum heads, dual overhead cams, so you're talking about 4 cams in the engine versus 1. So making repairs should the engine ever fail, it will be more costly, but I highly recommend the 3.6 liter, just once again for saying the fuel economy, the sound, and the power that the engine offers. That they really are exceptionally well. Me and my wife have thought about supercharging both Jeeps. Financially, we're trying to see if it is worthwhile. Superchargers run about $5,000 to $5,500 for each Jeep, and we would go with the RIP, or the RIPP is RIP superchargers. Seems like the best way, and it's more of a pro charger setup in my opinion, from what I can tell. Front mount, belt driven, and they offer 100 to 150 horsepower increase over factory to the wheels. But I'm not sure how the wastegate bypass system works, if it truly does help increase fuel economy like it suggests, or if it's just gonna further reduce the fuel economy that I'm already getting with the Jeeps. These are our daily drivers, and obviously it's a Jeep with big tires, so fuel is already gonna be down, and we're very understanding to that. But if it gets any lower than 10 miles to the gallon, I might have a heart attack. But I just did want to cover that with the 3.6 liter. That is, in my opinion, the biggest difference between the two Jeeps. And ultimately, if I had to buy again, I would go with a slightly newer model, 4-door. But the price on these things from 07 to 11, they're very reasonable. I think we gave about $16,000 for this one about a year and a half ago, and in comparison to my 2-door, the 2-door 2012 year model, I paid $25 for it, and it had just right at 70,000 miles, I believe. So there is a large price difference when you get the new engines, the newer axle designs, the beefier axles. Now, of course, they're still Dana 44s, but the 2012s, they come with a slightly thicker wall tubing in them, and obviously the electronics, the newer interior. If I didn't cover the interior in the last video, this one is more of a rugged design. It's more of an outdoorsy feel to it, minus the car seat. But the hard top, I mean, it's nice. You feel like you're in a Jeep when you ride in it. Versus, we'll go ahead and walk over to mine. Mine is that new age design. It's a black interior, more sleeker, smoother curves to it. I really enjoy my interior. It feels like you're driving a very modern vehicle. But these are the differences between the two. Changing them up or getting aftermarket support is a little bit easier on the 2012s. The price point as well is a little bit cheaper. These doors, if anybody is wondering, these tube doors are interchangeable with the 2007 to 2011 four doors, so they're not strictly exclusive to one body style. All the doors are the same. If you did notice in my last video, I still have my factory fender flares. These are just literally cut in half, shaved down, and the inner liners are out. We have the inner liners out on my wife's as well. When we did take the inner liners out on my wife's, I did find a small rust spot from dirt just continuously piling up on them over the years, so we were able to make that repair as soon as we were made aware of the situation with the rust, and it was very minimal. But we love both Jeeps, and we drive this one as a family more than anything, so it sees most of the mileage. We're at 140,000 on it now. And of course, in my last video, I did cover the basics of the winches that we have. We're both running the Ironton 9,000 pound winches. Very cheap winches. We got them from Northern Tool and got them on sale, so we paid just over $200 for them. We don't do heavy off-roading. We do very light trail riding. Well, I won't say very light, but we do moderately decent trail riding. No crazy rock crawling. No mud splashing. We don't put our Jeeps in the mud. I wouldn't go as far to say as to call them mall crawlers, because they do see some trails, but we are very respectable with our Jeeps and what all we cover in them. As far as terrains, they're immediately washed when they're taken out, just to keep reliability up. But these things they're nice, and if I had to do it all over again, once again, I would go with a new model 4-door just for that 3.6 liter. But thank y'all for watching once again. Hopefully I was able to provide any questions or any answers for questions that you may have. Thanks.